Domestic violence has begun to run rampant in America. In Connecticut, an average of 14 people die at the hands of their partner each year. Shauna Ryan was on hand at the governor's residence for a benefit to help end this epidemic.
In the state of Connecticut, domestic violence is a real concern, with an average of 14 people killed and roughly 2,000 victims being housed in shelters and safe homes each year, as well as 1/3 of criminal cases involving family violence.
Domestic violence is a very big issue, and we're now understanding it on an intergenerational basis. That is, that if a child sees domestic violence take place, it means they're more likely to be a victim of domestic violence. It also means they're more likely to commit domestic violence.
Governor Malloy hosted a spring reception at the governor's mansion to help benefit the Connecticut Coalition Against Domestic Violence.
The Connecticut Coalition Against Domestic Violence is the statewide organization that helps serve some 60,000 victims of domestic violence annually here in the state of Connecticut. And we do that through 18 agencies that are based in communities that help victims with shelter, hotline, court support services, victim advocacy, counseling. And all of those services are provided free of charge, and they are fully confidential. So what we do is we oversee those programs. We do a lot of policy work on both the state and federal level to make policies stronger to help victims, and we obviously do public awareness work.
To the extent that we can make an impression on people that are younger, maybe we won't have this rolling system of continual domestic violence.
Domestic violence is happening every single day, every minute of the day, unfortunately, across our country. And it's just so important because this organization spends their time raising awareness about the issue day in and day out, but they also support the local efforts of the organizations that are in the towns and communities in the state of Connecticut.
Susan B. Anthony Project is located in Torrington, and we provide services in 15 towns surrounding Torrington. We have a crisis line, we have shelter, we have transitional housing, and not so many of our programs have that, so that's kind of a unique feature that we have. And we're really proud of our education program, the work that we're doing in schools, really working to change the culture and educate children and youth.
What we're trying to do is get the word out to men. Men can have a significant impact in reducing the level of domestic violence throughout the state. What we've coordinated was a 10 by 10 program. Very simple program whereby 10 men tell 10 men the importance of not committing violence against women, and then spreading that word around to other men and boys that violence against women isn't tolerated, and our hope is that we expand this 10 by 10, 10 men at a time, and hopefully reach a lot of areas of the state.
We're the service provider for domestic violence and sexual assault services for intervention in crisis, as well as prevention education in the cities of Bridgeport, Easton, Fairfield, Monroe, Stratford, and Trumbull. And what we do is we have a 24/7 hotline where someone that feels they're being victimized and needs services at any hour of the day, any time, can call our hotline and receive services and speak to someone. And if they're in crisis, we also have a safe house that shelters over 18 individuals.
Although there's a cry for help, making sure that you have an agency that's like CCADV, like the Office of the Victim Advocate, who are out there to help you know your rights, help you navigate the court system, but also help you get those services that are necessary to keep moving on with your life, or to get past the domestic violence, or to get past the situation that you're currently in.
You can't Band-Aid this thing. This is not about passing one more law or opening up one more shelter, although those are critical components to the solution. It's about changing the culture that tolerates violence so that men grow up understanding how inappropriate it is to commit violence of this kind.
Sexual assault isn't always perpetrated by men, and neither is domestic violence. We still have many, many victims of domestic violence and sexual assault that are men. Domestic violence isn't just a women's issue, it's a men's issue too. That's really important to understand.
We have sort of a little saying that we don't just work here, we live here as well, and so we're very proud of sort of all the things we do in the community. This is something that's particularly near and dear to me. I worked on these issues probably 25 years ago when I worked in the legislature, so it's an opportunity opportunity for me to sort of step up in a different way and for the company to step up and demonstrate its commitment to the community as well.
We've got to get the word out to younger people that it is not okay to be abusive to women, because in the most cases, it is women we're talking about. It's not okay to be verbally abusive, and it certainly is not okay to be physically abusive in any way.
If you or someone you know are concerned or experiencing domestic violence, please call one of the numbers on the screen to speak with a certified domestic violence counselor.
The sooner that we can identify these issues and treat these issues and remove situations, particularly where children are at risk, the better off we're going to be.